All right, welcome to our Wednesday night wind down. I'm so excited about tonight. We are going to be doing a restorative practice, and this practice is going to be all about leaning into trusting the stability. And so in this case, we're going to trust the stability of our props, trust the stability of being able to just rest and relax. So the idea here is all you have to do is allow yourself to breathe and be. But I'm going to give you some other things to kind of work with it. Now, we are going to tap into our props. So I've got a couple bolsters, a couple blankets. I've also got a block here, and we may use, everything. We may not. It's up to you how much you need. I also have an eye pillow. You might want a scarf to cover your eyes when we finally lay in a pose for a while. And then, as always, loving it if you have a practice journal that you can journal in after. So, we are going to get started in a slightly different way because this class is focused on this idea of connecting to stability. I really want you to start to feel rooted. So we're going to start somewhere a little bit differently. I'm going to have you lay down on your belly. So on your mat, lay down on your belly to the best of your ability. If you need to make any changes, do so. It's okay if you're on your back as well. And what I want you to do here, I'm going to have you breathe and feel the belly on the ground. As you connect with your belly on the ground, as you're breathing, I want you to feel that connection, the core, your hips, your legs, the thighs, all just resting on the mat, allowing the mat to support you. So taking deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, and imagining that you can really let go into the mat. I'm just going to add a little note here. If you haven't turned your head to one side and rested a cheek, please do so. We really want you to feel relaxed here. We're setting the tone for this practice. And as we do this, I just want you to sort of call upon the energy of the first chakra. So the first chakra is about stability and safety. It's about grounding. And when we feel stable, when we feel grounded, when we feel safe, we really can thrive. We can take risks, we can have more fun, more freedom. So we want to call in that feeling of safety, the feeling of support. So as you connect to the ground, the floor, this mat, imagine that you are completely supported. Not just your body right here, right now. You're supported by the breath, your lungs just doing their job. You're supported by this fact that you're doing this practice right now. And I'm sure there's so many other ways you can see support happening in your life. And I'm sure there's a lot of ways you would love more support, more stability, more trust. And instead of feeling into any lack, I want you to imagine that you're drawing it closer to you, like this practice is going to allow you to be a magnet. Good. Now, before we start moving into any other pieces of our practice, I want you to focus on your exhale. So we're going to inhale for a count of 4 and looking to exhale for a count of 5 or 6. So you might have to count it at first. And then at some point, you'll be in the pattern. Now, why are we looking to extend our exhale? This allows us to let go even further. Imagine that you're able to cultivate a deeper sense of calm, continuing to let go. And then when you're ready, rolling over onto your back. All right, so our first pose that we are going to do is on our backs. You technically don't need any props for this one. However, you might like it. So what this one's going to look like is we call this one the banana. So you are going to lay all the way out and extend the arms. And then you're going to walk your hands to the left. We're going to start with the left. Sorry, your feet to the left, your hands a little bit to the left. So you're shaped like a banana. Now, if you're having any difficulty with the arms overhead, don't worry about it. You can leave them at the sides. This is not a time to judge your body. You're just going to allow yourself to rest. Now, why I said you could use a prop is you could kind of shove the prop to the side to help you, or you could put a prop underneath your arms to support your arms. All right, so don't overdo this. It is a simple pose, but as you extend through the side body, it can feel like a lot when we lay here for a few minutes. So just get yourself set up and then start to rest. Now, as you continue your breath pattern, right, we are breathing in for 4, exhaling for 5 or 6, right? We're extending that exhale. We're extending this idea of allowing ourselves to feel so safe and supported we can let go. So we're extending that exhale. At some point, you're going to, again, rest, not just in this pose, but in the breath. And when your thoughts arise, like, oh, you know what? I have this other thing I need to get at the store. Oh, I should make a list for all the things that I need for that recipe. Oh, I just remembered when these thoughts arise during our practice, I want you to call upon the Bija mantra for our Muladhara chakra, for our first chakra, our root chakra. And that Bija mantra is Lam, Lam. And you can speak it out. You can use the actual sound, or you can just feel into it. So continuing to rest here in your banana pose as comfortably as you can, continuing to settle in even more. Imagining in this pose you're unwinding, and that the mat again is just holding you up. You don't have to do anything but be. Really steep in this idea. You can let go. Beginning to deepen your breath in your bellies, gently starting to walk the heels to center, the arms to center, and then drawing the arms down. Good, just centering yourself in the center. And then when you're ready, maybe moving, if you were using your prop to kind of hold you in place, you can move it to the opposite side of your body. And you can start to walk the heels over to the right this time, drawing the arms up overhead and then walking the arms over to the right as well. Reminding yourself that you can prop those arms. If the arms overhead don't feel supportive, if it feels too much, remember keeping them down is just fine. Once you get settled, coming back to the breath, that extended exhale. And when thoughts arise, calling upon the Bija mantra, Lam, Lam. Beginning to deepen your breath in your belly, slowly walking the heels back to center, the arms back to center, and then drawing the arms down. Good. Just take a moment to feel centered and then roll over to one side and slowly push yourself up. We are going to move on to our next pose. All right, this is going to, I would recommend if you have a bigger bolster to use the bigger bolster. If you don't, you'll make do with your smaller bolster. You can even plant a stack of pillows. So we are going to move through again the side body, but now we're going to add a little bit of a twist and get into the hips as well. So you are going to I'm going to start with my right side. You can start with your right side. Your right side, essentially, that hip is kissing the bolster. That's how I like to think of it. Then you're going to place your right foot just gently on the left thigh. So you're kind of in sort of like a mermaid or like a seated position, just like hanging out at a picnic, right? So what we're going to do here is you are going to first try to settle into this, and then you're going to see if there's any other modifications, any other props that are going to help you feel supported. So we are going to lengthen through our spine. And then here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about twisting from the hips to the best of your ability. Don't twist first through the shoulders. So what that means is we're going to look at the bolster. And when we do so, I want you to think that you're moving first from the hips. You're going to walk your hands down either side of the bolster, and then maybe turn your head and rest a cheek, the opposite cheek on the bolster. So then you're doing the twist from the base of the spine and up, also getting through that side body that we just lengthened and the hips. Now, if it's too much, here's the thing. If the full twist is too much, maybe you want to add another bolster, a couple blankets, and even possibly just resting on the side, still getting in here, breaking up some of the tension, and allow yourself to rest, okay? So please make do, again, one more time. Imagine that you're twisting from the low hips, the hip area, and then walking yourself down and allowing yourself to be supported. Now, once you get there, if we were in person, I would come around and I would bring a blanket and I would place it on the low back just to help you feel even more grounded, help you feel supported, and just have that like nice swaddled sensation. Good. So get yourself in this pose. Maybe you're already there. And settle into that extended exhale. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 5 or 6. And imagine that you can visualize your body relaxing, feeling this support. And even though you're in a different kind of position, your body is just really available to unwind, to let go, to open. Again, if thoughts arise, you can come back and anchor into the Bija mantra Lam, Lam, Lam. You can say it out loud or just say it in your mind. Beginning to deepen your breath in your bellies. Gently starting to press into the palms as you slowly draw yourself and arch back up and start to turn around so that you can extend your feet in front of you and your low back is kissing the bolster now. So just you can maybe pedal it out a little bit. Maybe there's some movement that needs to take place. And then you're going to set up for the other side. So you're going to turn, your left hip now is going to kiss the bolster, that right or that left foot is touching the right thigh. Remember, you're twisting from the base, from the hips, walking down. Then settling in, and then maybe putting that blanket on your low back. Now, take your time getting into this. Coming back, once you get there, settling into the breath. Minding your body that it's safe to let go. Sort of every breath informing the body that it's allowed to release tension. Maybe you can feel a sort of melting sensation through the neck and shoulders, a warming. And as though there's like a heaviness that's allowing itself to drop away from the bones. So your body's able to expand and feel light, feel free. Continuing to breathe.